Hello! Hello there. I am starting. Don't call me shortly. I rewatched Airplane within the last year. Still fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Why are you watching this when you could be watching Airplane? Go do that. Rightio. So, before we start, just a heads up in case you hear me moaning and whinging about it. My earbuds aren't quite working quite as they should. I suspect it's user error. I think maybe I didn't have them fully seated in the cradle, and so they didn't charge correctly, and it's been a while since the previous stream, and yada yada yada, excuses. But enough of that. Let's get back to Emerald. Let's see if we can remember where we were, eh? Let's have a go at that. And there we go. Oh, I think we're going to get jump scared because I'm going to turn the controller back on, so... surprisingly not. And I did remember for once in my life, to actually configure the buttons before stream started. So, you're basically looking at a pro. Do I not have a backup wired headphone? That would be smart. That would be very smart. I do have a studio set, but I don't remember how to get them set up as like my regular headphones. Right now, the way they're set up, they only work in Audacity. Like when I'm editing anything in Audacity, things will come through here and only through here. And the headset and the computer speakers like its own ecosystem. It's very strange. Very strange. Don't know why that is. Where are we going? I think we've beaten this gym. Yes, we should know that. We have. So we need to probably dive underwater to stop Team Magma's nonsense, is probably where we're at in the story. Okay. We can do that. Oh! Can we not, though? How many Pokemon we killing tonight? Yeah, this is the genocide run. This is the one where Sans actually is the league champion when you get to the end. We need... I think we just need to go fishing to reset our party so we can teach somebody surf and/or, well, at least surf to start with. I don't think they'll last long enough for us to get dive. Magma underwater would create a new island. That is how islands work. It's true. Also, good to see you, Carson. Welcome. You said you would check in, and you did. That was very kind of you. Okay, any of you losers can surf? Maybe Steelix can? I have my doubts. I have my doubts. Let's check that real quick, like. Yeah, no, not so much. Okay. Gotta love the randomizer. Speaking of Undertale, Undertale recently got retro achievements, which is exciting. From what I understand, didn't have achievements to begin with in Steam, because the creator isn't that keen on them, and that's okay. But the community got together and they made some. So now you can install a mod, basically, and have achievements, if that's important to you. What's my favorite mint? I don't know that I can differentiate between the different types of mint, you know? Like spearmint versus wintergreen. You know, I don't know that blind I would necessarily know the difference of the coin mints. I thought you may have meant that, but I thought I would subvert the conversation. I mean, the only one I've been to is the one in Winnipeg, so I suppose that by default must make it my favorite, surely. I can't troll my own stream? Isn't that my right as a streamer to troll you guys? I'm pretty sure it is, you know. I think it is. Am I Canadian? No, I live near Canada. I was in Canada this weekend. But I am not Canadian, no. I'm a filthy American. Why are we killing a Pelipper? We need those XP gains. And we're running behind on our scheduled genocide run that we promised. I'm gonna turn this down in my ear. I feel like I'm shouting. I feel like I have to shout to hear myself think. Ooh, Texas, America Plus. Wait, why did I use snore? Oh dear. No, it was good to get up north to Canada this weekend. It was about 10 to 15 degrees cooler Fahrenheit, freedom units, up there than it was down here. It broke 100, kind of in my neck of the woods. So that was a nice reprieve. We enjoyed that. Did independent Texas have coins before they joined the Union? I'm not an expert on Texas history. That being said, I'm not aware of them having minted any coins. They may have had some bills, potentially. I think for the most part, and this was common back then, because silver was silver and gold was gold. You know, they probably just used either the Mexican coinage or the American coinage, and there was generally some understanding. It was only relatively recently, you know, with fiat currencies and getting off the gold standard, that, like, you know, what currency you used actually matters. Or they just used antlers. Yeah, that could be too. I think Carson's the expert, so I'm gonna take them at their word. Sorry, I got jump scared for a little bit there. I thought this Paris was shiny. I'm like, that's a very desaturated orange. But no, he just looks like that in Ruby and Sapphire. Why? Okay. That's peculiar. Not sure I like that. We're gonna move on. Yeah. If you can believe it, I didn't actually go to the Mint in Canada this time around. I was too tired. We had too much other stuff to do, so we just came home. And I'm gonna buy some stuff off the website later to commemorate the trip. Okay. Surely Bradman can learn surf and dive. The other thing Texas may have had an abundance of is coonskin hats. I have it on good authority that back in those days, everybody dressed like the Disney depiction of Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. So, you know, there's that to consider. Did the Confederacy ever have a mint? They tried. They took over the New Orleans Mint and kind of, sort of, but not really made their own dollars. But it was a pretty sad affair. They basically just stamped over existing coins, and they kind of called that good. Where the crap is this dive spot that I'm supposed to be looking for? And also, like, inflation was such an issue in the Confederacy that it, you know, $500 in the Confederacy couldn't get you crap, so they mostly had bills. That's probably, honestly, the the bigger limiting factor. Sorry, I gotta lock in here for a moment. I cannot remember where the crap I'm supposed to go. I think it's like along here. I think I'm too far to the right. Can't escape. Yeah, no, we gotta kill it. I tried to show it mercy and it said no. It said absolutely not. We'll probably swap Aquarius out of the lead spot now that they're above level 40. I don't think I could live in Canada. I'm I'm a little adverse to learning French, odd as that might be, and I think I don't know if that's a requirement to live there, but it's a useful enough skill that you'd have to think about it. Of all the Romance languages, French is the one I would least like to learn. What is the worst starter of all time? That's a good question. That's a good question. I will say, Chikorita gets a lot of hate that I don't think is deserved. Its stats and its moveset might not be the most awe-inspiring. Counter argument, he's just a little guy. I mean, look at him. You can't... How can you look at a Chikorita and be filled with hate? I don't think it's fair. Honestly, if I were to peg a least favorite, it would probably be... It would probably be one of the duplicate, like, firefighting starters, right? We've had so many. And the fact that they kept giving us more and more, they couldn't come up with a different combination, upsets me, I think. Like, Torchic gets a pass because I like Torchic. Biased, but also Torchic were the first. Where, you know, some of these other guys, it's like, what are they doing? You're supposed to mumble the French part of the national anthem to hide your lack of knowledge? Is that how they do it? Okay. Maybe. If I ever get up there for a hockey game, I'll maybe listen around and see what they do. Of course, being near Canada, they do. You know, we've been to like the local league baseball and hockey games, and they'll do the Canadian national anthem if we're playing one of their teams, so we hear it enough. Incineroar could have been a lot better if they kept him on all fours. Yes, I heard. I haven't seen the pictures, but I have heard. I have it on good authority that the new batch of starters, they're keeping them on all fours, at least the one that is, which they didn't do last time, and everyone was upset. They finally took some direction. There was much rejoicing. Azar, how you doing? See, that's the trouble as well, is that it's very difficult to, like... I don't know. Incineroar was, as I understand it, pretty dominant in competitive Pokemon, which I don't know a tremendous amount about. So I feel like it's hard to hate him, or maybe that makes it easier to hate him if you, like, go up against him a lot, right? So I'm not sure exactly how to parse that. You know, honestly, maybe I would give the hate to Chimchar. Just because, like, that's the firefighting starter immediately after Blaziken. It's just Monkey Blaziken. And Blaziken already exists. And we would soon get Speed Boost Torchic, which made Blaziken even better. And it's like, why even have Chimchar? He's a cute little monkey. He's got a great design. He is suffering from just being a little guy. But, yeah, I don't have a lot of love for Infernape, I think. True Pokemon fans play with favorites instead of the meta. I'm not gonna gatekeep Pokemon. Some people really do just get a tremendous amount of enjoyment in, like, min-maxing and, like, looking at spreadsheets and playing Pokemon as optimally as possible. And if that's you, all the power to you. It ain't me. I play with a combination of favorites and things with, you know, decent stats. I'll have a Dunsparce on my team as a laugh, and that's okay. Good lord, that took ages. Was this fight even worth it? Probably not. Should I, now that we've completed the Pokedex, do you think I have your guys' permission to cancel the evolution animation, or do you guys desire to see it every time? Do I have any desire to learn Portuguese? I would say my desire is higher than French, yeah. Now, I don't know how much Brazilian Portuguese differs from, like, mainland Portuguese. We can start canceling it? Alright. I appreciate that. That'll get us moving a little faster. I imagine there's quite a bit of difference. What's wrong with French? It's not French, it's me. I struggle with it in... I struggle with it insofar as it's... I find it difficult to parse and read. So I grew up learning how to speak Spanish, even though I'm close to the other border and not Mexico. Spanish is a very simple language. What you see is what you get. There isn't, you know, it's... I really like its simplicity. French has a lot of weird vowel stuff going on that I struggle with. And a lot of unpronounced letters that I also struggle with. And you get some of that in English, right? I mean, what? A good 30% of English is derived from French. So it's not like I've never run into this before. And it's not like I can say that English is you know, any better. But it is something I struggle with when you know, I've looked at a number of languages on Duolingo, which, you know, probably isn't the best place to experience these things, but that's where you can get a nice sampling of things. And I've looked at a lot of languages on there, and French was the one I found myself struggling with the most. So I guess you could just say I don't want to learn it because I'm not good at it, which is, you know, not a great mindset. But that might also be true. I have no beef with the French as a people or a culture or a country. And certainly not as a cuisine. The French have done great things for the world of cooking, which I very much appreciate. If I learn Portuguese, can I translate some 1950 World Cup final books for you? I'll be honest, I can't promise I'm going to make that a priority, but I will certainly look into it if they haven't been archived on the English-speaking web. I sound like a Food Wars fan. I'm not a Food Wars hater, except that final season. Food Wars is all right. Okay, tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna dive underwater and see if we can't figure this out. Cause I'll be honest, I don't know quite what I'm doing wrong, but I'm clearly doing something wrong. So let's figure this out. Write my own book about the 1950 World Cup, sourced primarily from Portuguese sources. I don't think you want me to write that book. I think it's going to be lacking some necessary nuance that a interested party would want. Okay, let's dive here. Let's see if we can't find this cave. Now, surely this... well, I'm not sure. Is this a dead end? Oh! Okay, I just needed to go underwater. I guess that works. I'm not smart. What can I say? Let's heal up. Do I have potions? Repels. Yeah, I have a few. Could use more. Give Aquarius the protein. Oh, right. We were going to get the shoal shells at some point. We will have to keep that in mind. Okay, let's actually use a repel here. Oh wait, did I jump the gun on that? Maybe. maybe not. I think we'll be okay. I think Gyarados can learn Strength. I hope. So can Spinda, for that matter. What else do I know? Oh, since we're on Pokemon, Czar was sharing in the Discord that they observed somebody do a shiny hunt for Mewtwo in Pokemon Yellow, I think, or maybe Red or Blue, one of those. And that's an interesting thing, right? Shinies didn't exist in Gen 1. So how does that work? I know a little bit. I know that in Gen 2, that is Gold, Silver, Crystal, shininess is determined by your stats. And I think we've had some of this conversation before, but, you know, I don't remember things so good, so if you want to keep me from rattling on the same things I've already talked about, you gotta give me something else to talk about. So, shininess in Gen 2, determined by your stats. I don't know the exact spread, but I think it's something along the lines of, like, if you have, like, 10 IVs, the Gen 1 equivalent of IVs in every stat, your Pokemon will be shiny, which is not max IVs, it's just a specific spread. I think there's some other stat spreads that can do it as well, but that's the one I remember. And that means that shininess is also influenced by breeding in that gen, because stats are passed down through parents and so on and such, etc. But that's Gen 2. How can that be in Gen 1? You can guarantee a shiny? No, but you can make your odds a lot better. Well, you can manipulate RNG to guarantee you a shiny. Some people will gatekeep and say that ain't a real shiny if you, you know, use too much math to find your shiny. Just let people do what they want, man, is my stance on it. I think you can get your odds down to like 1 in 100, roughly. You can get the odds pretty good through breeding in those games. I don't think I did this right. Probably not. But Gen 1, how does that work? Well, you would think, okay, well, you know, the stat formulas in Gen 1 and Gen 2 are the same, so I guess you can just find shiny Pokemon in Gen 1 and you just don't know that they're shiny, right? Kinda, sorta, but not really. See, Gen 1 is stupid, and it's held together with duct tape and dreams. And, the way that Pokemon stats are generated in that game, and the way that the RNG ends up calling things, Oh. Makes it such that those stat spreads are impossible to get when you're just walking around in the wild grass. So you're not likely to find most Pokemon as shiny in red and blue. Like, the only way you would find out that it was shiny is by trading it to Gen 2 or by knowing Pokemon stat lines really well. So if it's not possible, then what's the deal? The thing is, the way that the stat stuff works makes certain Pokemon have, well, the GBA remakes, certainly. Those don't have anything to do with stats. That kind of does shininess in a completely different way. The way it ends up is that, like, if you've got a Pokemon that's like a static encounter, like Mewtwo, like your starter, like the Eevee you pick up in Celadon City, the Magikarp you buy from the salesman, you know, all of these Pokemon, because of the way they are encountered, these can be shiny. I don't know why the RNG changes on them versus just wild grass, but it does. And so you can shiny hunt a couple dozen Pokemon in Gen 1. This was actually like a big deal on like the, I think Smogon is like the official like competitive Pokemon fighting forums. Like, they didn't realize this bug in the RNG until like, we'll just say 10 years ago. I guess there were big fights on the forum back then. I'm like, oh, well, that means... Because it also means that Pokemon with perfect IVs can't exist either. And that's what most people would cheat in for their competitive bracket. So it's like, oh, well, no, you can't have a perfect Gengar anymore. That wouldn't have existed in Red and Blue. You have to choose one of these stats to weaken. And I don't know, it's pretty crazy. What is the best Pokemon game for modding? I have no idea. Gen 3 seems to be a pretty popular platform. So like this game and Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby Sapphire seem to be pretty good. Romeo November Gamma, RNG, random number generator. So like basically you think of like when you run into a wild Pokemon, you can think of it basically as the game rolls a ginormous dice or large set of dice in order to determine the stats that Pokemon has, also to determine just what Pokemon you run into. And you can... Because no computer can truly do random numbers. Just some games are easier to kind of suss out and manipulate the random number generator compared to others. Some games are far more deterministic than others. Pokemon's complex enough, but we have cracked most of its secrets. Golden Sun that we were playing a while back, that's very deterministic. Every time you turn on the cartridge, you will end up in the exact same RNG seed. So if you save right in front of a boss in Golden Sun, and you start up the game, and you choose whatever moves you choose, that will always have the exact same result, no matter what. Which is kind of crazy. So it means you can do some pretty weird routing things to like do low-level challenges and stuff like that. Yeah, and then in Gen 3 they changed shininess, so it's based on some other values that you can't even see, but are still generated by the random number generator. They kept the odds the same, about 1 in 8,000, 1 in 8,192. But it's not influenced by stats anymore. You can influence it with breeding, but not to the same extent, and it's very particular. It has to do more with like what regions your Pokemon are from. It's just a very, very different beast. And then in more recent years, they've kind of, well, they flat cut the shiny rate, and then they added a lot of methods that you can employ to, again, increase your chances for a shiny. No, I think the Game Boy, like anything on the Game Boy platforms for Pokemon, are probably your best bet for modding. There's been a lot of tools for a very long time available. I don't need to make a video about this, trust me. So many people more eloquent and learned on this subject than I have already made that video. I appreciate that you consider me knowledgeable enough to do so, but I don't think I would add anything new to the conversation. I think those resources are already out there. You know, it's not like I dug through the code to learn this stuff, right? I learned this stuff by watching other people's videos. And, you know, for me to make a video would just be regurgitating someone else's content, which isn't the coolest thing to do. How do I do this puzzle again? Yeah, that's right. Boom! Earthquake! TMs are useless to us this run. I gotta find a subject that I'm equal parts knowledgeable in, and nobody else, or at least maybe not nobody, but like I can't find a video that I would be satisfied watching. That would be kind of my level. If I were to make like a YouTube like content piece, video essay, I would need to be knowledgeable, or want to become knowledgeable, want to learn about it. I would want it to be a subject that hasn't been covered extensively. And yeah, I would want it to be a video that I would want to watch as well, which that's tough. I'm yeah. Oh, bye, Prestige. Well, I guess we send out Aquarius. Send out the water Pokemon. Oh, what is this move set? Bite, Rapid Spin, Rain Dance, Protect. Eek. That's bad. Well, it's a good thing we saved, because we may have to reset this as it turns out. This is quite poor. Oh, did you know Thunder? Should I have used Rain Dance? Oh, I should have used Rain Dance! Okay, no, we'll fix that. Rain Dance, yes. My Blastoise will do a dance, and that will cause it to rain. Side effects of Rain Dance include water moves will do more damage, which is nice, except my Blastoise doesn't know any water moves aside from the aforementioned Rain Dance, which doesn't do damage on its own. Other side effects include the move Thunder, which normally has like 70% accuracy. It's prone to missing. Thunder will always hit. Seems useful for farmers. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if farmers in the Pokemon world utilize Rain Dance, or if they've had to pass, you know, legislation on that to make sure that we don't end up with like a weird flood situation. Are Blastoise's cannons bone or metal? That's a good question. Let me take a look at them. My gut says they're metal. And I don't think that's... I think that's fine. I mean, Machoke and Machamp have like a championship belt as part of their body. They are I mean, maybe this sprite art is misleading, but they are the same color as like his shell. So maybe, I mean, they could be bone, but in the anime, they kind of move like machines when they come out of his shell. They kind of go choo, 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 choo. So I think they're metal. Is there anti-flood Pokemon moves? Yeah, there's Sunny Day. Sunny Day makes it sunny, which makes fire moves more powerful, makes water moves less powerful, and I think it makes thunder, like, less accurate? That might be true in later generations. I don't know if it's true in Gen 3. I feel like we had this discussion recently. On if Sunny Day affected Thunder in Gen 3. At any rate. Yeah. And that's like the whole theme of this game, of Gen 3, is land versus water, you know? Groudon is a Pokemon that creates land. It has a drought ability, which causes it to always be sunny. Kyogre is some sort of weird fish, mammal, water creature, and it makes it rain, and it's always raining when it's present. Yeah, that'll hurt. Yeah, we might have to reset this one, but you know, if we can get him down to his last Pokemon, I'll be fairly happy with that. Being a meteorologist must be hard in the Pokemon world. I agree. A lot of Pokemon can negatively affect the weather. I think it's been a plot point in several of the Pokemon, like, feature films. Right? Like, there was a storm in the Mewtwo one. That was a whole thing. Shadow Punch? Yeah, you should learn Shadow Punch. Oh, but your last Pokemon's gonna be Sharpedo, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. Well, I'll tell you what. We have items. We're not so proud as to not use items, right? No. Now, what is Taunt and Torment? I always get those confused. Okay. Taunt means I can only use moves that do direct damage. I can't use, like, a weird status move. What do you know? You know Thunderbolt. I'll send you out. The trouble is, Sharpedo is very fast. Now, why did you use Taunt a second time? I think you read my inputs. Either that or you have terrible AI. How much of the anime have I watched? What, of, Pokemon? Not as much as you might think. I watched the original series, the Indigo League series, that follows Ash during his first adventure. But then, like, the rest of it I've just kind of caught in snippets, as it aired on TV back in the day. I have a couple of VHS tapes of, the OG Indigo League series, and I've got one of Pokemon Johto. I kind of quit watching around Diamond and Pearl for a number of reasons. Just kind of timing with school and activities, and I wasn't watching, you know... I don't know how people managed during the television era when it's like, okay, this is gonna be on, you know, this is gonna air Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Every Thursday at 8 is a new Pokemon or whatever. Man, I got stuff going on. I can't. And I know there's reruns, and they'll rerun it later throughout the week, but, like, that's such a difficult thing to try and keep up on with these shows. And so thank goodness for the streaming era, which makes all of this so much simpler. Okay, so I think where we're at now, we need to fly to Satopolis, which I can't because I don't have a freaking flying Pokemon. Fab. But we need to do that, and then we have to learn some plot stuff, and then we have to go wake up Rayquaza. Oh, do I have the correct bike? I know that's a strange question to ask, but that does indeed matter. I think we still have a repel active, so no wild Pokemon are coming. Yeah, now it's permanently raining. Oh, and now it's sunny? It's like sunny and raining at the same time. There's going to be some nice rainbows. My Pokemon are very injured. Yeah, this is not the most ideal of circumstances for me. No, that's the move I didn't want you to use. Oh, good. It did nothing. Yeah. That's the thing, like with those TV shows as well. I mean, you still run into this with the weird digital rights nonsense we have right now, but it's like, I can remember watching a couple shows as a kid, and my mom being like, oh, go play outside. This show will be on again. And then you know what happened? That show got canceled, and it got taken off the air, and it was never on TV again. My mom prevented me from watching television and made me go have a fulfilling, enriching life. How dare she? How dare she? It's my fault it got canceled? No, I think it's my mom's fault. She lied. Okay, we have Dodrio, who, oddly enough, despite not really having what you would traditionally call wings, can fly. Oh, what? It won't let me fly here? But I've been here before. Oh, wait. Have I been there, or was that when we were doing the... Was that just when we were doing the Find the Pixel event? It might have just been that, actually. We may not have actually been there in this save game. I think we've only been there in GeoGuessr. I take back my cruel words. They were not warranted. Let us move on. Yes, here we go. I need to get part 2 of that Find the Pixel thing uploaded, as well as GeoGuessr. And then we'll also need to... I'm a little behind on the YouTube upload, so if you're one of the YouTube viewers, I do apologize. I am aware of it. I'm getting caught back up. Yeah, children can dive all they want to. Children can do whatever they want once they reach age 10. Pokemon may be able to surface. Children don't get the bends. Yeah, because they're so flexible that they can bend any which way and it doesn't matter. Look at that. A cutscene in a Pokemon game. This was, I think this was a first. I mean, for a cutaway like that, at least. Like, we've had these weird little sprite interaction cutscenes, to some extent in, like, Gold, Silver, Crystal. Can I, No, it doesn't let me. It do not let me. When two Pokemon that gigantic are fighting that savagely, there's not much we can do. Wow! This is wicked! Glad you have a positive out. Oh, and we can't access the rest of the town. The Pokemon Center, however, should still be open. Yep, she's still doing her job, which I appreciate. I do think these guys have unique dialogue, though. Everyone in town has taken refuge and won't come out of their homes. Even I would rather not venture outside. Satopolis... Oh. What? Rival... Oh, okay, you're a move tutor. Okay, but you're not gonna comment on the situation outside. You're just gonna be like, Wallace is dreamy. Okay, sure. Aren't Pokemon our friends? Why are they going wild this way? Oh wait, I just realized we do not need to use a repel. Wild Pokemon will not appear during this event. Are there schools in Pokemon? Yeah, there's schools. Schools where you learn how to fight Pokemon. Or schools where you learn to fight good. That's all the schooling you need. Groudon, stop what you're doing. I know the extent of your power now. If you keep going, all of Hoenn will be utterly ruined. Look over here, it's the red orb. Calm down. It's no good. It's not responding. Wah! Idiots. Arithmetic? I mean, I guess. You know. They might teach you some statistics and probability. You know. If tackle is 95% accurate, how often can you expect the move to miss? The answer is about 50% of the time. And then, you know, Thunder is, or Hydro Pump is like 70% accurate. How often do you expect it to hit you when your opponent uses it? And that's basically like a 95 to 99% chance. It'll rarely fail. That's the type of math they're interested in. Oh, we maybe could have done with using a repel in here. This might screw us up a little bit. My goodness. So in the in Ruby and Sapphire, this game is actually where you go to catch either Groudon or Kyogre. Obviously, this game handles things a little bit differently. Why am I fighting this guy? Right, Genocide Run. Forgot. Boy. What else can I enlighten you folks with? Oh, I'm not sure I ever confirmed it, but, you know, the stream that we did, on my birthday, the Stardew stream, that was, well received, I think, and, the wife enjoyed it as well, so we will boot the multiplayer, Stardew farm back up. Probably sometime in September. So, you know, look forward to that. Or if you didn't like it, you have been warned, and you can skip that one. Even I have no clue as to Rayquaza's whereabouts. Yeah, he's at the Sky Pillar. Yeah. As long as one of my Pokemon can still use Fly, we should be okay. You have a birthday? Isn't that amazing? Today is also my unbirthday, if, in case you didn't know. Anyone else celebrating an unbirthday? Oh, Moss Deep is affected too. This doesn't affect the whole continent, I don't think. I think it just affects the watery bits of the map. Because I'm pretty sure if we fly to even Lily Cove, I think all the storming and stuff subsides. The day you will die? That's not what an unbirthday is. I hope. I hope that's not today. Oh! Oh no. Did they change how this works? How far inland do we have to go to avoid this? Okay. Mauville's safe. Okay. What about Slateport? You're kind of near the ocean. Slateport's safe. So, yeah, kind of looking at this general vicinity. 80 years from now? That is optimistic. It's possible. It's possible. I could live another 80 years. We're just going to assume that I do. We're going to assume that the Futurama technology to keep a head alive in a jar will be around by then. Is Wheel Arms next up? Yeah. We will be playing Wild Arms, or Wheel Arms. Which I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch, because, boy, I sure as heck don't remember what we were doing there. Not in the slightest. I'm not sure how much it honestly matters for that game either, to be fair. I mean, it's a JRPG, so they would probably prefer you paid some attention to the story, what's going on. Okay, can we learn Surf now? Please? Yes, we can. Let's swap Birdo into slot 2. There's going to be some oblivious Pokemon trainers that are definitely going to try to challenge us, even though the world is actively dying. We'll fight them. These wild Pokemon too, we'll fight them. Because why not? Why is the world dying? Well, the lava ground monster and the water monster are having a disagreement over what the Earth should be made of. And they both said ground and water at the same time. And so the ground monster is threatening to dry up all of the oceans, which would be bad. Although IGN might have appreciated that plot line given their comments on Gen 3. And the water guy is like, what if we made it all ocean? And so he's trying to do that. Is this like a Moana situation? Haven't seen it. Couldn't tell ya. I don't know a dang thing about Moana. Other than The Rock is there. You know, he's been doing acting instead of wrestling for a good while now. And I think that's the only thing I know. Oh, I think there's a song called You're Welcome. Or has You're Welcome as a central line. Those are the things I know about Moana. Sorry, a third thing. The main character is called Moana. Big brain. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Pixar was just cribbing notes from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Or, I guess, Emerald in this instance. More ocean, more Pelipper, more better. I see. I see where your allegiances lie. Dugong, gong, gong, gong. Can Dugong take on Gyarados? I don't think you're fast enough to use Sheer Cold. Oh, you might be. Oh, wait, sorry. Speed doesn't have anything to do with one-hit KO moves anymore, does it? That's a Gen 1 thing. It has everything to do with how many more levels you have compared to your opponent. Right. It's all coming back to me. Oh, Zara, I missed your comment. We're still alive in 80 years. What does that say? We're becoming Statler and Waldorf? Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that. Are we a sea lion? We're some sort of seal or dugong. I mean, it's called dugong. Yeah, we're some sort of marine mammal. Yeah, why don't you use double edge? It's the best cry. It's the best noise in all of Pokemon. It's the best cry. Cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah, we're pretty ruthless. We're doing all right. Oh. Now, see, Pelipper is pretty bulky, so sometimes we have to let these guys go. Ooh. Yeah, Dugtrio's definitely not... Boy, I don't know if anybody here can really take on Pelipper effectively. We'll send in the Mawile. Pelipper is a beast. It's a tank. Okay. Mawile, it turns out, was the correct answer. No, don't talk to me, lady. I am trying to save the world. I must go commune with Shenron. I must assemble the Dragon Balls on top of the tower and wish for him to bring back Krillin. Or stop the two monsters from fighting each other. No. Bye-bye, Nidorino. You don't know a single fighting move. Does feel a spherical seal? I mean, look at him. He's pretty round. He is quite round. Yeah, I went bah, bah. I don't know, that move is called Smelling Salts, which I don't really understand the name that they've given to it. It's a weird move in that if the Pokemon you're using it on is paralyzed, it will do double damage and also cure that Pokemon's paralysis. I don't really get it. It kind of sounds like we're just kind of maybe getting high off of smelling salts. I'm not positive. Can't be good for you. Yeah, these two guys are not the right... Oh, well! Wailord's doing okay. I mean, honestly, I probably should be using Water Pulse. It'll still do decent enough damage. You watched a new good anime. Oh, pray tell. What has Czar been watching? May I ask for a final thing? That's not one that's been on my radar. I can't say I'm familiar with it. What's, Eclipse recommended it. Okay. There's a lady who punches. Okay. Oh, there's Wallace. I'm terribly sorry. In my haste, I didn't notice I'd left you behind. I've opened the locked door of Sky Pillar. Let's be on our way. It's an earthquake. We've got to hurry. The situation is getting worse. Oh no, the weather has spread here. No! Well, that's interesting. The weather has spread here. I mean, I would have liked to fly away, but yeah, I think we'll just do it. A nice meta show about drawing manga. That's good. I like that. Bring on the meta. I did watch, Clips isn't here to appreciate it. I did watch 2 episodes of My Hero Academia. A new anime about the Hittite Empire. That's interesting. Is it Sid Meier's Civilization 3, the anime? What can I tell you about My Hero Academia? We met a short old man who used to be the All Might's teacher, and now he's gonna teach our protagonist some stuff. And he's kind of strange, and he's called Gran Torino, which is the name of both an automobile and, I believe, a Clint Eastwood movie. And yeah, everybody's taking internships, I guess, to learn to superhero better. It's also the name of a famous soccer team that died in a plane crash. Gran Torino is? Oh dear. All right. Oh, did they? Sorry, I'll have to check something here in a moment. Or comment on something. Hyper Beam? You shouldn't be allowed to know Hyper Beam. That's cheating. Do you know a water move? You know a water move. We'll see. We'll see. Why would you do this? Why would you waste my time like that, only to self-destruct? Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. Okay. So, I remembered needing a bike to travel along portions of that tower. It might be that that mechanic only exists either A, in Ruby and Sapphire, or B, it exists here, but maybe only after you've done the plot necessary items. Perhaps after you awaken the dragon, when he like comes back to the tower, maybe he lands too hard and he shatters the floor of the tower, and that's what causes you to need the fast bike in order to escape the falling floors. I'm leaning towards the ladder. None of you can fly. But some of you can surf. Does an escape rope work from this floor? No, it sure doesn't. Okay. We need a Pokemon who can learn fly, people! Not Shuckle. Oh, hey, thanks for checking in, Eclipse. Drive safe. Tell your hairdresser hello. Okay, flying. Is there a... Yes, Altaria, you can fly. You're gonna kill my Togepi! Don't! You've smashed the egg! Can Pelipper learn fly? I bet he can. But I didn't have a Pelipper on my team. I have not been blessed with Pelipper. So... You know? Fly back to town. And Rayquaza said, "Stop it! Stop fighting!" And then they did. And it was good. Yeah, God came down, told his kids to knock it off. Come on. Oh boy. Is this controller dying again? Or is it just bad? A mod of Pokemon where you just always get Pelipper, huh? What is that green Pokemon? It was you who brought the flying Pokemon here? Well, aren't you amazing? Wow, that was wicked! When that Pokemon flew down, I feared the worst. Now. I pose it to you that Rayquaza was probably a better father than Bing Crosby. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm the, I don't think I'm the ideal target audience for the Oops All Pelipper mod of Pokemon Emerald. Where all of your Pokemon are Pelipper, and all of the enemies' Pokemon are Pelipper, and it's just Pelipper all the way down. I don't think I'm into that. You know, I don't think I can... No. Let's just use another repel. Real quick like. Looks like Maxie and Archie have gone away somewhere. Perhaps they've gone to Mount Pyre to return those orbs. Thanks to your help, everyone was saved. Here's a gift. It's the HM for Waterfall. Okay, nice. Alright, and now he says, alright, you can fight this gym if you want, and we will do that. But not today. We've been going for... Let's see. How long have we been going? Only an hour and a half, in truth, but I'm tuckered. I'm tired. So we'll give this a go next time. Now when is next time, right? Well, we're gonna play Wild Arms next. And methinks we're gonna do that Thursday evening. Because I don't want to take up your Friday night. If I can help it. And then I think we'll be back on again on Sunday. We'll probably come back to, well, this guy. Unless something weird happens with the wheel. In which case we'll do something different. But we're probably coming back to this guy on Sunday. So, that's the plan. Okay. I gotta go collapse in bed. I'm Sunday! I gotta hit the hay. I gotta recuperate. I think I'm still tired from my trip. You have a good night. Oh my goodness. We'll see you Thursday night. Take care. Bye-bye.